Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Let the filibustering begin.
Welcome to Nerd Party.
Hello and welcome to Filibuster here on the Nerd Party Network. After 18 months covering festivals in Utah, New York, Austin, London, and with Toronto on the horizon, we're back on home turf as we preview the 2021 Edinburgh Film Festival, which launches today with Pig. So it's got 31 features, 73 shorts, and 50% of those will be new features coming from a female director. So exciting times. So Giles, are you looking forward to covering another festival on your world tour?
I am indeed, but I'm just slightly disappointed that I won't be there in person. I mean, I guess I've gotten used to virtual festivals. I should be no stranger to it, but after the highs of Sundance London, it's just a shame that I wasn't able to come down and experience this one in person, purely because of, I guess, the screen capacity issues, where obviously up here in Scotland we're still slightly more socially distanced than our fellow film critics down in London, so there was less spaces, so I couldn't justify the time off for the virtual press screenings and stuff. So I'll be watching keenly from my laptop and out my window at the Aberdeen skyline. But how are you feeling about the hustle and bustle returning to the Edinburgh? Because I know that the Fringe and a few of the other festivals are happening at the moment, so there must be a bit of buzz going around just now.
It's good to be paying £6 for a bottle of cider that I can get for £1.50 in my local Sainsbury's. It feels like the sense of normality returning. It's kind of weird. I'm off work this week. I had annual leave to use up, and usually I'd be thinking, like, I'd be off anyway just now for the film festival, and usually I'd be thinking, right, I'm excited, I've got this time off, I can go see all these different shows, I can go film festival stuff, but it's kind of passed me by a little bit this year in terms of the Fringe. I'm going to go see Anna Meredith, whose music actually soundtracks some of our other podcasts, the A24 Project, on Friday, and Damon Albarn, and that's about it, really. I went to a preview show last week, and that's it. It's kind of been surreal not to be, seeing that much, but it's nice to see some of the regular sites, whether it's the pop-up bars, having excuses to go catch up with friends and doing things. It's become more of a bit of a social element, which is quite nice, and that's something I'm kind of missing about Edinburgh this year. I know it's like a bit of a blended festival for the people attending. Fortunately, I wasn't able to get any tickets for any of the screenings I wanted to go to, so I'm kind of missing when you kind of think about Sundance London, it's that kind of, doing things with your friends, that community feel, people all together in rooms, talking afterwards, what did you think of that film? God, that was terrible, that was amazing, and kind of bringing it all together, and we're all kind of in sync with when we're watching films. Now you kind of have people talking about Pig yesterday, and you can chat about Pig up until Thursday when the press screening officially shuts off. So there's a kind of a missed feeling at the moment, but I'm hopeful for next year that it'll come back, and we've got London on the horizon, which we've both applied for in the past 24 hours, so I'm excited to hopefully have a bit more of a, I always tell people going to a film festival is like going off to camp and stuff like that with your best pals.
Yeah, no, when I sort of, before COVID or whatever, sort of going down for an actual festival for a few days and whatever, my wife would always complain, saying that, you're on holiday essentially. It's not, I don't view it as a holiday, If you are writing reviews for websites, and obviously we record the podcasts and pull interviews together, and I do kind of view it as work. Obviously there is times where you've got social networking drinks, the karaoke, film quizzes and stuff, which sadly won't be taking place this year. But I mean, that's the sort of bit. It's the before and after, the sort of either queuing up to get in or just the chatting afterwards. What do you think of this? That's the sort of thing that I miss the most. It was sort of evident from Sundance London, but obviously, it is still sort of baby steps coming out of the pandemic, so it's difficult to know, obviously, what kind of appetite there is for an in-person festival. Certainly by trying to get tickets for a net, there is definitely appetite for watching certain films on the big screen and stuff like that. So yeah, no, I think I hope that it does go well, that they do get good audiences. I mean, obviously the benefit with socially distant screens means is that you can promote the festival after the fact by claiming that you had several sellout screenings at reduced capacity, of course, but still sellout screenings. That's how you can spin it. But given the circumstances, they've pulled together what I think is a decent lineup, and I'm pretty sure that we've got a few highlights each, which we're going to be looking forward to.
Yeah, so we've picked out our 3 films, though I think we could have picked a lot more that we're looking forward to. I've kind of gone with my usual thing of like, the opening film like Pig, Annette. Those are given that people will be checking those out. So I've tried to pick three off the slightly beaten track a little bit. So Dallas, what is your first recommendation that you're maybe looking forward to, or something you've maybe seen that you think people should go along and see?
Well, I did the same, given the fact that Pig is basically screening today and is out with Altitude on Friday. It's a given that, provided it is screening in your local cinema, that you will be going to see that one anyway. It is essentially, certainly from the description, it sounds like a Taken or John Wick with Nick Cage and a pig, but it's a much more sort of tranquil sort of look at grief and stuff like that. It's a serious film, unlike what somebody thought when we watched Censor last night and the trailer played for it, and so it was guffawing quite awkwardly whenever Nicolas Cage talked about his pig. But for me, people are saying it's one of his best performances in years. People always write Nick Cage off as just rubbish, but he does. He does give his all to every film. They might not all be good, but he does give his all. So obviously that's just a by the by. So yeah, everyone will be watching Pig. So that's not an official choice, but we both are going to watch it. So my first one is going to be Mad God, and this is an animated feature by Phil Tippett. And if the name rings a bell, it's because he was the dinosaur supervisor on Jurassic Park. He became a bit of a meme a few years ago when people basically cottoned on to the fact that that was his official job title in Jurassic Park and basically said, Phil, you had one job. He failed to supervise the dinosaurs. They got loose. People died. Come on, Phil. But, he's been working in sort of the special effects industry for years. And this is a stop motion film set in a Milton-esque world of monsters, mad scientists, and war pigs. The assassin journeys through subterranean chambers where he meets a world of tortured souls, decrepit bunkers, and wretched monstrosities. Obviously, there's a link with Edinburgh at the moment because Tippett worked with Ray Harryhausen, and there's the National Gallery exhibition on at the moment, which you can go and see. So it sort of ties in nicely with that. But the description of it and some of the stills and stuff that I've seen of it at the moment is, I'm really looking forward to seeing this. Apparently, it's completely wild and out there, quite graphic. It's a 15, so yeah, it's certainly not your sort of PG rated Ray Harryhausen stuff. It's going to be quite violent and gory, which is interesting to see what that means in terms of stop motion animation. But yeah, no, this is definitely my number one highlight that I'm looking forward to at the festival.
So we often do these things where we have all these films to choose from, and somehow our tastes always just slightly diverge. I've also gone with Mad God as one of my must-see films. Like, yeah, he's the name when I was kind of scrolling through the list. It was like, oh, Phil Tippett, what's he doing? And yeah, he's someone that I recognise from things like, obviously Star Wars 2, RoboCop, Starship Troopers, The Meme, and it's one of those ones, like I recently, if I recommend people, if they're in Edinburgh or looking to make a day trip, the Ray Harryhausen exhibit at the Modern Art Gallery is fantastic. And you think of someone like Phil Tippett, and I've kind of I've still got that love for stop motion animation. It's something that's died off a little bit in the past few years, more and more, but there's always the odd thing, whether it's a Fantastic Mr. Fox or something like a Paranorman, that kind of brings it back a little bit. So yeah, I'm really excited to see this one. I think this would be a really great film to catch on the big screen if you were lucky enough to get a ticket to it.
Absolutely. So yeah, I guess that's back to me then. Yeah, normally we don't sort of check in advance. Otherwise, we could have easily had 60 minutes. But it's these are the films that we're looking forward to see, and occasionally there will be crossover. Sometimes there's none, but yeah, this one is. So we'll see if we go 2 for 2 on the next one. The next one for me is Mandibles, and this is a French comedy, and it is about 2 sort of loser bums who find in the trunk of a car a giant fly, And if that wasn't weird enough, they then decide that they will try to train the fly to commit bank robbery so they can get a lot of money and live a better life. It is completely absurd. It goes to places that you do not expect. But to be fair, it might sound completely bonkers, but it sounds kind of normal when compared to the other work of the director, Quentin Dupieux, who did films like Rubber, about a tire that could kill people with its mind, or the recent Deerskin, starring Jean Dujardin, about a man who is driven to murder after he gets a lovely deerskin jacket. He was also very famous. I don't even want to think about how long ago it was. He was the director of the Flat Eric Mr. Wazoo video, if you remember the jeans commercial and the song that came with that as well. This is an utterly delightful comedy. It's only like 78 minutes, doesn't outstay its welcome, and features an incredibly committed supporting turn by Adele. I'm going to completely butcher her name, but she was in Blue is the Warmest Color. And I'm not going to say any more about her performance, but it got quite the reaction when I saw it at Venice. And I think it's definitely going to be a crowd pleaser if you manage to get a ticket for this one as well. You'll enjoy it if you see it on film as at home, but in the cinema, I think this one is going to play very well. And obviously, with the fact that Edinburgh's got it, it sort of bodes well that it will get a full cinematic release down the line as well.
Well, I will 100% add that to my list. I hadn't considered that one as one to see. I think my choice is a bit of a popular one, probably, but I've gone with the beta test. So it's from Jim Cummings, the man behind Thunder Road, The Wolf of Snow Hollow, and really popular on social media as well. So he plays a married Hollywood agent who receives a mysterious letter from an anonymous sexual encounter and begins and becomes ensnared in a sinister world of lying, infidelity, and digital data. So one of the things that really caught my attention with this one is, like, I really like Jim's Cummings work. I remember Thunder Road was the first film I ever got to see at London Film Festival, covering it as a member of the press, and I've got fond memories of just that opening 5-10 minutes of like going, holy hell, this is incredibly awkward. This is my type of humor. And I'm really excited to see this one. I think the thing that's caught my attention the most is a film that I've really enjoyed a lot over the past few years, and I'm always encouraging people to check out, is The Death of Dick Long. So this stars Virginia Newcomb in the leading role. So I'm really excited to see her performance in sort of a leading role. I thought she was so fantastic in the Death of Dick Long. So yeah, I'm excited to see what she does next with this one. We interviewed her a couple of years ago, and she teased that she was off to work with Jim Cummings. So it's one of those films that's been in the back of my mind probably longer than nearly any other film in this festival. So yeah, I'm really keen to see this one.
Yeah, no, this was. I was really annoyed that this one didn't make it onto the virtual platform at Tribeca. This one sounded really interesting, and I was also I think I came to Thunder Road quite late, maybe sort of like a couple of years after it had come out. I knew everyone was raving about it at all the festivals, but then I eventually sort of caught it on Netflix or something like that and was very impressed. And I've been needing to check out the werewolf one as well. But yeah, no, this is definitely on my radar, and hopefully I'll be able to catch it virtually at some point. I'll be emailing certain distributors, sort of pleading with a nice little please, 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 please.
So what's your third and final choice that you're going to recommend for people to check out?
This is one which I have not seen myself, but had heard great things when it screened. I think it was South by Southwest. I heard great things, but just couldn't fit it into the timetable with everything else. And this is Ninja Baby. This is a Norwegian comedy which stars the central character of Raquel, an independently minded 23-year-old cartoonist who becomes pregnant after a one-night stand, and she finds out too late for an abortion and is basically goes on a journey of trying to figure out what she's going to do, and how she's going to sort of interact with the baby's father, and also dealing with this unexpected and potentially unwanted baby as well. Apparently it's very, very funny. The style in which it uses, it sort of draws on animation and stuff like this. Had great word of mouth coming out of South by Southwest, and really glad that I'm going to get another opportunity to see it here at Edinburgh, and I think this could be one of those sort of small sort of breakout international hits. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check all those. Well, I'm definitely checking out one of them for sure, but yeah, I think I'll be checking out the other three on your list. And my final choice is The Justice of Bunny King, so something like that always catches my eye, and I wonder if this is one you're going to be excited for as well. It stars Essie Davis from Babadook and Thomasin McKenzie, who is continuing to, be appearing in bloody everything. So, yeah, Bunny King is the mother of two, a rough-cut diamond with a sketchy past. While battling the system to reunite with her children, a confrontation leads her to take her niece Tanya under her wings. With the world against her and Tanya, Bunny's battle has just begun. So I'm getting, obviously this is from, down under New Zealand. I'm getting a lot of vibes of something like Hunt for the Wilder People here. It's got a great cast as well, something really local. And, I know New Zealand has we always think of things like The Lord of the Rings, etc. But God, they do comedy so well in New Zealand, and especially when they're independent kind of comedy movies as well. So this is something I'm really excited to see, and I'm gutted I'm not seeing this one with an audience. I think this one would have had plenty of belly laughs, and it might just be that Thomasin McKenzie movie that just fills the gap between something like Old and Last Night in Soho.
Yeah, well, and Antipodean comedies always play well at Edinburgh Film Festival. I'm thinking of the one with Guy Pearce and Kylie Minogue from a few years ago. But yeah, no, I can imagine that given the contention recently over the fact that apparently a production of the Lord of the Rings TV series was moving from its spiritual home in New Zealand to the UK, that maybe the film industry messaging might start to become, we're more than just Lord of the Rings, rather than being all about Lord of the Rings. It's like, we do other things other than just Lord of the Rings. Why don't you check out this film about Bunny King and stuff like that? So.
Definitely. So we've got a nice little mix of films there for this. It's just a nice little bonus episode to keep you going, but we'll have a much more feature-length episode dropping on Friday, as myself, Dallas and Kim and the director of Censor go behind the scenes on the making of the movie and really kind of dive into one of the best kind of British films in the past few years. So hopefully this episode will tide you over till Friday. Thanks so much for listening and enjoy the festival. Bye.
Join the revolution. Join the Nerd Party.
Welcome to Nerd Party.